Carrie Underwood's going to be performing America the Beautiful at President-elect Trump's inauguration.
You'd think that'd be pretty uncontroversial.
Right. It's like, America the Beautiful, how controversial can it be? But, well, apparently it's causing quite a stir.
Yeah, the internet is not holding back on this one.
Not at all.
We've got articles here detailing the reactions and even some interesting commentary from Lee Greenwood.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be performing too, right?
He is. God bless the USA himself.
No, that's a song you can't really argue with, can you?
Well, we'll see what the internet thinks.
Always a gamble.
So first things first, what does Underwood have to say about all this?
Well, in her own words, she's honored to be part of this historic event and emphasizes the need for unity and a forward-looking perspective.
Smart move, keeping it pretty neutral.
Yeah, especially considering she's usually avoided expressing strong political views.
Makes you wonder why she decided to jump into this particular political fray.
Right. It's a bold move, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So how are people reacting to this whole thing?
It's a mixed bag. Some are praising her patriotism, others are, well, not so much.
Like Joy Behar from The View.
Exactly. She basically called Underwood out for supporting Trump's policies by performing.
And some of Underwood's fans are echoing that sentiment online, saying she's betraying her values.
Yeah, there's definitely a feeling of disappointment among some of her base.
But it wasn't all negative, right? Some people came to her defense.
Oh, absolutely. There were plenty of people who defended her choice.
Like who?
Well, podcast hosts Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, for instance, they emphasize the patriotic nature of the inauguration.
Makes sense. It's a celebration of American democracy, regardless of who's president, right?
Exactly. It's about the country, not the individual.
And that's where Lee Greenwood comes in.
Oh, yeah, Mr. God bless the USA himself.
He's not just performing, he's also been super vocal in his support of Underwood.
He's like, leave her alone, let her sing.
Exactly. He's calling her a great artist and predicting a fantastic performance.
And he's telling the critics to just chill out and respect her decision.
Let's focus on celebrating America.
Right. That's his whole message.
It's interesting, though. Greenwood's got his own history with Trump.
Oh, yeah. He's performed at a bunch of Trump-related events before, like the 2017 inauguration.
And the 2024 Republican National Convention. Can't forget that one.
Seems like he's pretty aligned with Trump's ideology.
Definitely makes you wonder how much of his defense of Underwood is about supporting Trump himself.
Yeah, good point.
And speaking of Trump, Greenwood's pretty optimistic about the next 4 years.
He even called Trump a peacemaker who will boost America's standing in the world.
That's a pretty bold statement, considering how divided things are right now.
It really shows how music and politics can be so intertwined.
Totally. Greenwood's beliefs are clearly shaping his view of the event and Underwood's participation.
It's like he sees this inauguration as a win for his side.
Okay, so we've got Underwood aiming for unity and patriotism, facing criticism from some.
And then we've got Greenwood, a solid Trump supporter, praising her and urging everyone to just celebrate America.
It's like two sides of the same coin, right?
Exactly. Two performers, different motivations, one big symbolic event.
Makes you wonder what kind of message they're sending, both individually and collectively.
And how the audience will interpret it all.
It's going to be interesting.
Definitely a lot to unpack here. Back again with this inauguration performance thing and all the stuff around it.
Yeah, it's wild how one performance can become such a big deal.
It's like everyone's got an opinion.
And they're not afraid to share it.
Nope, not at all.
We talked about Joy Behar's comments, but it wasn't just her, right?
No, a lot of Underwood's fans were pretty vocal online too.
Saying what?
Basically that she's letting them down by performing for Trump.
Like she's endorsing everything he stands for.
Yeah, some feel like she's betraying her values.
It's interesting how one action can be interpreted in so many ways.
Right. Some see it as patriotic, others see it as political.
It really highlights the whole question of an artist's role in society.
Do they have a responsibility to align their actions with their beliefs or their fans' beliefs?
Or can they just make choices based on what they want, even if it's controversial?
It's a tough one. No easy answers.
On the one hand, artists are individuals. They should be able to make their own choices.
But on the other hand, they have a platform and a following. Their actions have influence.
Especially in a time like this when things are so divided.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance.
And in Underwood's case, it seems like she's alienated some fans with her decision.
Yeah, but we can't forget those who defended her choice.
Right, like those podcast hosts we mentioned.
Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, they were all about the patriotism angle.
Saying it's an honor to perform at the inauguration, it's a celebration of American democracy.
And that the song itself, America the Beautiful, is all about unity.
So for some, it's not about politics at all, it's about the country.
Exactly.
And that's where Lee Greenwood's perspective comes in.
Oh, yeah. He's got a lot to say about this.
He's not just defending Underwood, he's also super pro-Trump.
Yeah, he's been on that train for a while.
Remember his comment about the pendulum swing?
Oh, yeah, like he sees this inauguration as a turning point.
A return to a more conservative America.
That's the feeling I got.
And that probably explains why he's so optimistic about the next 4 years with Trump.
Yeah, he's convinced Trump's gonna bring peace and prosperity.
Which is a pretty different take from a lot of people who are feeling anxious about the new administration.
Right. It just shows how much personal beliefs can shape how we see things.
Even something like a performance at an inauguration.
Absolutely.
But let's not forget, there are 2 musical acts here.
True, we focused a lot on Underwood.
What about Greenwood's own performance?
Well, he's going to be singing God Bless the USA.
Of course, his signature song.
The ultimate patriotic anthem, right? Played at sporting events, rallies, moments of national unity.
And now a presidential inauguration.
It fits perfectly with his whole view of this event.
And Underwood will be singing America the Beautiful.
Another classic, celebrating the nation.
It's funny how both songs are patriotic, but they can be interpreted in so many ways.
That's art for you. It's open to interpretation.
For Greenwood, singing God Bless the USA at Trump's inauguration is probably like a confirmation of his beliefs.
A conservative resurgence, American exceptionalism, all that.
But for others, those same lyrics might feel different, maybe even unsettling.
Given all the controversy surrounding Trump.
And Underwood singing America the Beautiful. Some might see it as a call for unity, a hopeful message.
While others might see it as supporting Trump, despite her trying to stay apolitical.
It all comes down to the individual listener.
Exactly. Their own experiences and beliefs shape how they hear things.
So we've got these 2 iconic songs, 2 artists with different views.
All happening against the backdrop of a divided nation.
It's going to be a memorable event for sure.
Definitely. And for those watching at home, it'll be interesting to see how they react.
Do they buy into the unity and patriotism, or do they see something more political?
It's all about interpretation.
And that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating. Welcome back. We've been talking about this Carrie Underwood situation, and man, it really makes you think about music and politics.
It's crazy how something as simple as a performance can turn into this whole big thing.
Right. It's like this intersection of art and politics and personal beliefs. It gets complicated.
Definitely not a simple issue.
We've got Underwood trying to promote unity, but getting slammed by some people.
And Greenwood's over there like, go Carrie, while being a total Trump supporter.
And then you've got the audience trying to make sense of it all.
It's a lot to process.
And we can't forget the historical context. Inaugurations are always super symbolic.
Yeah, they mark a new chapter for the country.
So when someone like Underwood decides to perform, it has a whole other layer of meaning.
Some people see it as an endorsement, others see it as patriotic, and some just see it as a performance, like it's not political at all.
It's fascinating how many different interpretations there are.
That's what makes this whole thing so interesting. It's not just about what's happening on the surface.
Right, it's about the underlying messages, the potential impact on everyone involved.
Exactly, it's about thinking deeper, looking beyond the obvious.
We've talked about Underwood's reasons, Greenwood's support, the criticisms, the defenses.
It's like a whole puzzle trying to fit all the pieces together.
But what does it all mean for us? The people watching, the citizens trying to figure things out.
Yeah, what are we supposed to take away from all this?
That's the big question.
This whole situation is like a challenge. It's asking us to think critically, to be more aware.
To not just take things at face value.
Exactly. When we see an artist performing at a political event, we can't just be passive observers.
We have to ask ourselves, why are they doing this? What's the message here? Does this align with my own beliefs?
It's about having a conversation with yourself, with others, being open to different perspectives.
And recognizing that art can be a powerful tool. It can bring people together or divide them.
It's about understanding symbolism, thinking about the bigger picture.
It's also about respecting other viewpoints, even if we don't agree.
Yeah, we might not understand why Underwood decided to perform, or why Greenwood is supporting her.
But we can try to see it from their point of view. Engage in healthy debate. Challenge our own assumptions.
Exactly. It's all about growth, learning from each other, expanding our horizons.
It's easy to get caught up in the outrage, to react emotionally without thinking things through.
But if we can take a step back, breathe, have a real conversation, we might actually learn something.
That's what we're trying to do here, to not just inform, but to empower you, the listener.
To give you the tools you need to navigate this complex world, to be more critical, more discerning.
So the next time you see an artist at a political event, Remember this conversation.
Ask those tough questions, challenge your own beliefs, talk to people who see things differently.
That's how we grow as individuals, as a society.
And who knows, maybe through these deep dives, we can even find some common ground in all this chaos.
That's the hope. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning, keep those minds open.
And keep searching for those deeper understandings.